I wonder if anyone's going to join me. Let me just check that it is working on my laptop, because if I can see me on my laptop, then that'll all be good. Tum tum tum. Of course, it would be nice if my laptop would work. Bear with me one moment. Okay, if you're there, it would be lovely if you'd say hello. I'm fairly certain everything's working. Fingers crossed. I don't do these very often. Okay, looks like it. Right, okay, I need to turn the volume off. Say hello. Right, volume is off. Right, so just to let you know, I have a bit of a sore throat, so I have a drink, so I will be taking sips from that along the way. It's probably going to be really hot because I haven't opened it yet. Lovely. It's spiced chai from T2, because I like T2. Right, okay, so I was at team training this weekend. We get together as often as we can. Oh, there's more people jumping on. Do say hello if you are there. It'd be lovely to know that you're watching. And let me know where you're from. That would be great. So we had team training this weekend, and I thought I would go through some of what we did, share the swaps that I was involved in, and then do some actual crafting. Woo! Actually live rather than as live. So if you know me from my YouTube videos, so I'm looking over there every now and again to see if there are any comments, because my laptop is over there. So I want to just check, because once I flip my phone round, I won't know. So, yes, if you know me from YouTube, you know that I record videos as live, so I never edit, but this is slightly different because these are actually live. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera round, which means that things will go a bit fuzzy for a while, but hey. Okay, so that needs to go there, and hopefully everything is sort of straight. I'll wait for my laptop to catch up before I go any further, just in case. But that looks not too bad. The lighting's not great. We'll see if I can make it a little brighter. Ooh, I'm making my eyes a little brighter. No, that looks all right. Yay! Okay, so you can see some general mess around here, because that's what I do. I do general mess. No one's saying hello. I'm going to cry. Okay, I'm not. So I'm going to start with just some of the projects that I took to share. Some of these you will have seen already, and some of them you may not have done. So I shared this one, which is using the Memories and More cards and the matching note cards and envelopes from Christmas time, I think. One day, probably just as the catalogue retires, I will remember what everything's called. Let me find it. The Night Before Christmas. Yes, Night Before Christmas, that's what it is. So that's that, and I've die cut this, and it's sort of sparkly because I've used Wink of Stella over it, but really great way of using, of making lots of quick, easy cards. That's the word I'm looking for Christmas. We don't want to have to do too many fussy cards. So yeah. Oh, these are some of the ones that I've made for with the Most Wonderful Time suite. And if you buy that from me and you're in the UK, you will get, I say if you buy that from me and you're in the UK, you can only buy from me if you're in the UK, but you will get more projects on a PDF. I'm going to use every last scrap of the Most Wonderful Time product medley, that's the word I'm looking for, and put them all on a PDF, some with instructions, some with just sort of basic sizes, because I mean this card is not difficult, so I'll do the basic sizes and what I've used. But yeah, so that's that. This was my project for the Inspire Create Challenge. Hi Wendy, was for the Inspire Create Challenge last time, which was a colour combo. Wasn't quite sure about Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo and Coastal Cabana, but I think we got away with it. That's attaching itself to something. Need to sort that out. But yes, so that's that. Then, again, this was a Top Tip Tuesday with all the ice stamping glitter, which I think is out of stock at the moment in Europe. But when it comes back in, love it, particularly on the Feels Like Frost paper. And then this is the sparkling white embossing powder. Lovely. And there's some dazzling diamonds on there as well. So lots of sparkle, and that's Purple Posy and Pretty Peacock are the bits of card behind. So that's that one. Then these I did for a Freaky Friday. So you've probably seen those before from this Monster Bash suite. And then this is one which you won't have seen, which is using the snow globe, but for a Halloween project. So I haven't actually put a lining in yet, but these eyeballs, are just hole punched out of cardstock, and I used the basic black blender pen, which bleeds through, so it doesn't matter which way you put it on and you leave it there for a while, it bleeds through to the back. Let me grab it and then I can show you. Right, so here is my basic black. Let me find a sort of scrap, and I thought I had, you know when you think you saw something and it's disappeared? My life at the moment. Oh, that'll do. No, that'll do. Let's use some Coastal Cabana. So if you take your blender pen and just touch it to the card, it bleeds through. And then I've got a single hole punch, and you can just punch it out, which if there's no holes in, let's see if I can get the holes out. If you pop it in your hole punch and you can see through and just punch it out and hope that it comes out. Where's my take your pick? There we are. Come along, out you come. So there we have a Coastal Cabana eye, but because it bleeds through to the back, it means it doesn't matter if it twists in the snow globe. So yeah, I'd like to say it was an original idea. It wasn't. I found it on Pinterest, and I'm sorry, I really can't remember who I got the idea from. It's not a straight lift. It was just an idea to use this for things other than Christmas. But yeah, loved it. So that's what I shared as sort of inspiration. And then we did swaps. So I'm going to start with the bundle swaps. This is the swap that I made, and inside there is a sweetie, which is Tutti Frutti mixed fruit flavour lollipop, and they came from B&M stores, so I have to say cheap as chips. But yeah, so I made this. Oh no, it was another one. I made a coffin template and then just decorated it. Lots of shimmer paint. I didn't use the Wink of Stella on this. I used shimmer paint. So, and we always put the recipe that we've used on the back. And this is, I want to say pumpkin pie, just inked around the edges just to age it up a bit. And lots of silver twine, silver thread rather, which was probably the most exciting thing that I did because that was quite difficult. Then we've got, this one was from Lucy Tustin, and it's the Balloon Up and Away, I want to say, bundle. So that was really nice. This is the new Daisy Lane bundle from Jane Thistlethwaite, sorry. So another, yeah, bundle with peacock and all sorts in there. So that's very pretty. This one doesn't have a name on. It has an envelope, but doesn't have a name. Let's hope that it's on the back. Yes, it is. Babsy Hoare. And she's used the So Many Stars suite. So yes, and lots of Wink of Stella. So that's pretty. This is from Chris Addison. She's lovely. I love Chris Addison. And she's used the Magnolia suite and die cut out and then mounted up, and then some sequins. So yeah, really pretty. And it's embossed in gold embossing. This is from Lorraine Williams, who used the petal paper, which is one of the papers that you can get for free in the DSP promotion, which I will talk about in a moment. And then this is the lovely Wendy March, who is with us now. This is her project, and let me take it out and then you'll see. You will see it's a bridge card, so it stands, it goes flat in the envelope, but it stands up, which is lovely. She and I both wanted to do Halloween cards, and unfortunately not enough people wanted to do them, so we did bundle instead, and we both used Halloween bundle, because why wouldn't you? So yes, very pretty. So that was the bundle things, and then we did a 3D swap. So this is my 3D swap, which if I slide the ribbon off, I'll never get it back on. But if I slide the ribbon off, this again is the Christmas time. One day I will get these right. Is the Night Before Christmas paper, but with the plaid punch and stamp set. And then inside is just a little chocolate bar, but I've hidden the trunk of the tree because the tree actually goes in and it's glued in. And then I've used the Old Olive and Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon from the annual catalogue. No, that's not going to go on, not now anyway, because the colours actually do have Old Olive and Pretty Peacock. So I thought, although this pattern doesn't, I thought that would go quite nicely. Probably should have done this in Cherry Cobbler rather than Poppy Parade, but yeah. Poppy Parade is in the suite, just not in the paper that I then chose. Okay, so what have we then got? Julie Addison. Again, used the plaid suite for this little box, and there's a little suite inside, so it's a little milk carton, and really pretty, very pretty. And one of the little bells, which I haven't got yet. I must order the bells. Then Stacey Marsh, who's down in Kent. She made this really pretty. I've bent it already, but really, really pretty little banner with the Bird Ballad suite. And then we get on to the oh good grief ones. So this is from Millie Williams, and she's made this little, it's a either a door hanger or it would go over a bottle. And again, it's the plaid, excuse me, it's the plaid suite. Lots of chocolate, so my husband's going to enjoy all of that, because as you know, I don't eat chocolate. It doesn't get on with me. And then we've got from Helen Broxer a glass decorated in the So Many Stars in vellum, and she's put a tea light, a battery powered tea light in there. Really, really pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Love it. The ribbon is gorgeous. And then there's Sylvia. Now, Sylvia always does amazing projects. Let's see if I can unwrap it without ruining it. Probably not. But she's stamped on the candle. I think she's used the tissue paper technique, which I must do one day. Maybe I'll do that in my next live. And the beautiful friendship stamps. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Always does really, really beautiful things. So that's those. Then we had some make and takes. So let me show you some of those. We made this lovely little album, mini album, which just uses one piece of designer series paper and then some cardstock and some stamping. So that's really pretty, and it's just a really nice little keepsake. You could make it as a Brad book, something like that. But yeah, really, really pretty. Like that a lot. And we did a page saver. So if I get my annual catalogue, which is more solid, this just clips on here. So this is using the, can't remember. Oh yes, From Our House to Yours stamp set, which we also used for part of this. So for this, we used the Snowman Season stamps and the From Our House to Yours. So yeah, 2 stamp sets, but this is just From Our House to Yours. Really lovely. Like this a lot. So that's that. And again, we just used some scraps of designer series paper. And then the last thing we made, and I'm going to make some of these with you now, are some of the mini curvy keepsake boxes. Hi, Linz! So yes, I'm going to show you some of those. We've got the new, if you've been with Stampin' Up or around Stampin' Up for a while, you'll remember that we used to have the larger keepsake box die, which you had to stamp or punch twice. This is tiny. The base, let me get a ruler, is in new money just under 4 centimetres, and in old money about 1.5 centimetres at the base, but because it bends out, it's actually a bit bigger than that. But I'm going to show you a little trick in a minute, or not a trick, but a tip. So I thought we'd finish these off. I'm part way there. No, it's that I don't want. So I thought we'd finish these off now, and then I've got another project to share with you. And yeah, so if you've got any questions, queries, or anything like that along the way, do ask. But yes, so I have already made this one, obviously, and that's with the Snowman Season, and I used the Let It Snow and the snowflakes, and then an offcut for the covered bit, which I just glued down. So let me show you. I've started some of these, but not finished them. So I thought I would show you how I'm going to finish them. So this one, I'm going to just stamp all over here, and then these two I'm going to use some more designer series paper on. So I'm actually going to do those first so that they've got a chance to dry. Now, I actually, for these, only used a bit of the paper because these run, this is Snowmen, and it runs up. So I thought it would be better to just cut these and then glue them on. So I've got my Tombow, and I'm going to add the glue to the card. I've just used ordinary Whisper White for this. You could use the stiff Whisper White, but I think it's probably going to be a bit too stiff because these are only baby. Now you do need to make sure you get some glue right at that tip, otherwise the paper will peel off. So let's just pop one piece on. Now this is my first Facebook Live for a very long time, and I have a plan to actually do more. And then what I'm going to do is save them to YouTube. So I will replace one of my YouTube videos with my Facebook Live, and then share it to YouTube. And not this one, but future ones. There'll be some giveaways, because that's always fun. So yes, I may share this to YouTube, but it won't replace one of my, it may replace one of my videos. But I haven't decided yet when I'm going to do my Facebook Lives, which is going to be the best time and day. So because I try not to work in the evenings, it's likely to be in the daytime. Sorry. But it will, as I say, be shared on YouTube as well. So you can always catch up later, but you can always catch up later on Facebook Live as well, because the videos are saved. So it's not a problem. And now that I've worked out how to set my phone up a little better, hopefully I will be able to do more, and they will be better as I get used to doing them. So, right, last piece, and then we'll do some stamping, and then I've got another project to share with you, which I shared at one of my coffee and card sessions yesterday, because I do coffee and card every second and fourth Tuesday. We had lots of people there yesterday, which was lovely. And it's just a sort of casual drop-in crafting session, which I do local to me. So if you're in the Abingdon area, you can always come over to the Wheatleaf Garden Centre. It's the Windmill View Garden Centre. And they've got a lovely coffee shop there, and we use that as our venue. And it's only £5, and you get to make lots of cards and have a nice cup of coffee, and if you want to buy a piece of cake, you can do that too. So I'm going to set these aside to dry while I finish this one off. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap, otherwise known as something that came with one of my orders, and I'm going to grab my pool party, although pool party isn't technically in the paper, it sort of is, and sort of isn't. I'm just going to bend those a little bit. And I'm going to grab these snowflakes. And a block. And all I'm going to do is cover this with snowflakes. I don't really want to go over the edge, or the bottom I should say. So let me grab a post-it note. But yeah, there were about, I want to say there were about 70 of us at team training at the weekend. So it's a really good get together, and we had all sorts of giggles. I went out with one of the girls the evening before, and I'm not a late bedder, but let's just say I didn't get to bed until probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, which was fine, apart from the fact that one of the sets of tablets that I take, because I've got a nerve issue, as in my nerves, not my nerves, so it's a connection thing, they make me sleepy, which is great because it means I get to sleep early. However, because I normally take them at about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, when I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I was still a little drowsy, to say the least. So that wasn't the best plan, but never mind. Right, I'm just going to colour in our snowman a bit because I think he needs a bit of colour. So I've got dark pumpkin pie for his carrot nose, and then light smoky slate, where I'm going to just add some shading kind of where the shading is on the stamp and where it would be if it wasn't on the stamp. And we'll add some shading there and to the little rocks. And I just used Memento for this, and again covered the base so that it didn't stamp over. Because although people don't generally look at the base, you kind of, if they do look, you kind of want it to look nice. So yeah. Oh, I suppose what to do is buttons with Smoky Slate as well. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Right, so that's that. So what I tend to do with these is grab my bone folder and actually give them a little bit of a helping hand on the whole curvy bit, because then they're more likely to shape themselves properly. Now you can make them out of designer series paper. For me, they're not quite robust enough. I do like them in card rather than paper, but it's personal choice. And I think they take a Ferrero Rocher. Let me just grab a Ferrero Rocher, of which I have a few, but as you know, I don't eat chocolate, so this box has been around for a while. So God knows how long it's been around and how old it is, and therefore whether they're still edible. It takes a Ferrero Rocher, hurrah! So you then tuck those in there and pop that in there, and you can add a tag. What I'm actually going to add to this is some of this lovely curly ribbon. It's not really ribbon, it's trim, I guess, and I'm just going to add that just in a little knot, just as a bit of frou-frou, because I like a bit of frou-frou. And then just trim that off, trim that end a bit as well. Pop that in my non-recycling bin, and there we are. We've got a little Ferrero Rocher holder, and another one. So let me very quickly put the other two together, and I think we'll just grab some stamps. Now, is what I want to do going to work? Probably not, knowing my luck. So, yes, Wendy, I have to say I've mostly finished mine today, and a bit of tomorrow. Yes, it's going to work. Hurrah! And it would work even better if I could find my blocks. Oh, which I've got lined up ready for the other project. Okay, so let's not line them up for the other project. Okay, so what I want to do is stamp Merry Christmas on one of the sides. Now, it's not going to fit. Let's just accept it's not going to fit. So let's do it on a snowman, I think. So I'm just going to ink up half and do Merry. And then the other side. And I'm using real red because that's kind of the one I want to do. Then just clean that off. Yep, that's clean. And then do Christmas. So this is really easy to do, 2 colours. You literally just have to... Let me know if my hair ends up in the camera, because I've just realised that I'm bumping the camera every now and again. And obviously that's not a good look. Ooh, that's not inked up properly. There we go. Merry Christmas. Clean that off while I remember and put that back where I need it. And let's get rid of that. I don't know about anyone else, but open ink pads on a video terrify me. Let's put Merry Christmas back. And I think we'll just do Let It Snow on the other one, and I might do that in red as well. In fact, I'm going to do Snowflakes in Pool Party again, which would be really good if I could find... Oh, I've buried my Pool Party. So let me cover the bottom again, So I'm going to do snowflakes all over again, and then stamp the Let It Snow over the top, which should work because Pool Party is significantly paler than Real Red. So it should work like a dream, she says, with her fingers sort of mentally crossed. Ooh, that wasn't well done. It'll be on the edge. No one will know. We'll be the only people that will know that it's not well stamped. Right, that's that. Clean that off and pop that back. And pop that back. So I hope you were impressed. Loved your tip about photopolymer. Yes, don't you just, Linz? So for anyone who's not reading the prompts, photopolymer, when you get photopolymer stamps, let me show you with a new one that I've not used. So when you get new photopolymer stamps, and this is from our house to yours, of course it won't work now, but when you get these, you can ink them up. You ink them up and get it all inked up, and you know, as ever, you kind of chat with your chums, and then you stamp it, and it's not very nice. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can actually get that in the... Where's the camera? There's the camera. Can you see? It's not really very clear because it's got all this pitting. So it's really easy to solve. There's a reason why that happens. So when they make photopolymer stamps, they put a finish on the mould so that they come out, because otherwise they're a bit tricky to get the photopolymer out of the mould. So all you need to do when you've got a new photopolymer stamp is either with a white rubber or just on the back of your hand, just rub them on the back of your hand and they'll go a bit milky, and then you can ink it up and then stamp. And I hope you can see that it's better. Where's the camera? There's the camera. So this one is the one I've just done, and this is the one I did before, and you can see there's holes, but not on this one. So yes, just a tip, just a little tip, that if you prep your stamps, and it's particularly good for the solid stamps, obviously on the ones where there are less bits it's not quite as obvious, but on the solid stamps, yeah, just a little tip. Now what some people do is when they get a new stamp set is they do the whole thing in one. I don't tend to. Hi Valerie. Hello Raphael. Gosh, crafting video time. How's life? I haven't heard from you, well, mostly because of me. I haven't heard from you for ages. How is mindfulness going? I'm doing mindfulness through craft, but it's lovely to see you here. So we did a course together earlier in the year, yeah, we kind of keep in touch. There's a few of us that kind of keep in touch. I'm not very good at it at the moment, so keeping in touch, I mean, but yeah. So you've joined me on one of my very, very, very first Facebook Lives. I do a very few, but I haven't been doing them regularly, and I am now going to start doing them regularly. So yeah. Okay, so pop this away. I'm one of those people who has to put things away, otherwise my stamp area gets to be like a mess. Well, I say I have to. I really do put things away. I cannot tell you the mess that my desk was in last night when I finished, and still this morning. So I spent about 3/4 of an hour tidying my desk up so that I could put everything that I needed for this on my desk. So as I said earlier, let's get rid of the scrap because I don't need that now. I'm just, because these are meant to be curvy keepsake boxes, I do try and just give them a little bit of a clue that they want to curve, just by curling them. Right, so this bit goes back. It's all scored for you, so you don't have to worry about scoring. Really easy. And they fit beautifully on a piece of 6x6 paper, because they are, if you put them on your die cutting machine, if you've got a standard die cutting machine, so this would be the plate, you just pop them on like that, and it's 6x6. It's brilliant. Almost no scrappage, which we like. We don't like scrappage. So let's pop this one together, and then I will show you something that I picked up. Don't quite remember well where. So there we go. That's that. Don't need that anymore. And this one. So again, bend back the handle. And so yes, been very busy. I was on holiday last week. We were so lucky with the weather. We went to the Yorkshire Wolds and it was sunny basically every day. There was one evening, which of course was the evening I decided to go for a run, when it was a bit miserly, but that was fine because, you know, it doesn't matter if you get wet during a run because you're going to have a shower anyway. And as it was quite warm, trust me when I tell you, I was wet for a number of reasons. Right, so I'm going to put some more of this on one of these, I think, for the moment. And then I want to show you the little tip that I picked up. And as I say, they'll each take a Ferrero Rocher. So if you know people who like Ferrero Rocher and indeed chocolate at all, there you go. So this one has got Ferrero Rocher in. Now, let me grab these. So, baker's boxes. In the annual catalogue, you get 8 in a pack. And this is what they look like when you've made them up. And they just come flat packed. Let me see if I can find them. That's the stamps. Boxes 172. Okay. 172. There we go. There we go. So baker's boxes. There's 8 in a pack and they're £6.50 each. And they are food safe. They're 4 1/4 square by 2 1/8 up. And look, you can get 4 little curvy keepsakes in your box. So you can make it into a little gift. Well, you would be able to if I'd folded that properly. Pop that in there and there, and then you can decorate your box. How cute is that? Ha! Ha! So yes, as I say, I picked that up off Pinterest, I think. You know, that rabbit hole that we all go down and spend hours on. So there you go, 4 little keepsake boxes in a baker's box. Really cute, lovely little gift. Now, of course, you could make these for Halloween. Trick or treat. I'm loving Halloween at the moment. Which brings us swiftly on to my next project, which I haven't prepped other than to die cut something. So I've done my die cutting. So this is the Wicked bundle. And somewhere I have, oh there, the dies. Hello, Marion. Thank you. Yes, of course they would be your favourite. They can hang on the tree. They can hang on the tree just as the little box, or you can put them in a box. And yeah. So in the Wicked bundle, you get the Wicked die and the spider die and the stamp set. And because you buy it as a bundle, obviously it's 10% off. Do remember, when you buy something as a bundle, please use the bundle code. I've known people who have ordered things as 2 separate items on the same order, and it makes me cry. Anyway, so I've die cut Wicked in basic black, and I've got a basic black card base. So this is half a sheet of A4, just just scored down the middle, and that's at 10.5 centimetres, and it's 14.8 centimetres or thereabouts. I've got a piece of smoky slate, although I might actually swap that out for basic grey, because I think the smoky slate's almost too light. And then I'm going to do some tone on tone and some colour, and I am going to bring my scrap back because I'll probably go over the edge. So I spent part of my time this morning. See you later, Raphael. I spent bless him, he's lovely. I spent part of this morning mounting these up on their sticky, because they're cling mount, and of course we like cling mount because it clings. And of course I've got another stamp on my C block, so because that's for my next project. Just going to have a sip of my lovely chai. Ow, that's hot. Good grief. Okay, so spider's webs. I love a good spider's web just as well. I live in Oxfordshire. Oxfordshire apparently is the spider capital of the world. Certainly according to my husband. Anyway, my husband's one of those people who, he actually has quite poor eyesight. So he wears contact lenses and those, you know, and glasses and all those good things. If there is a spider that is the size of a pinhead on the ceiling when we go to bed, trust me, he will see it. And you'd think it was the size of a tarantula. But it's not. It's only the size of a pinhead. It is tiny, and yet, no, I have to go and find it and get it out of the house. Hoo-hey-ho. Lovely things. Fortunately, I'm not that frightened of spiders, certainly not quite as frightened as he is. So, yeah. Happy day. So spider's webs around the outside. So this is tone on tone. It's basic grey on basic grey. And of course we really ought to have a spider somewhere on our spider's web. Now this is effectively the size of a tarantula. But hey, it's fine. So we'll pop him there. I think I might do one in black as well, because I've got my memento here. I will do one in black as well. Let's get that out of the way. So we'll have a black one there too. And I like to, particularly with the black, I like to leave my stamp on the card for a bit longer. Actually, we might do some more memento black, so I won't put that too far away. Let's clean that off. And yes, this is clean, honest. It's just stained. And then I think we'll have a puss cat, because I like my puss cats. And we may have two, so we'll have a grey one. And don't think I need that anymore for the moment. And then we'll have, oh, although we might. And then I know I didn't clean it. It's fine, I'm going darker. And we'll have another puss cat. Didn't stamp that very well. Oh no, it's meant to be like that. Isn't it lovely when you actually realise that your stamping isn't bad, it's that it's meant to be like that? Wendy, they're tiny things. Spiders are fine. They're much more frightened, in this country anyway, they're much more frightened of us than we are of them. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got, have a wicked. Yes, that'll work. So, where did I put my wicked? So we're going to have the wicked there. There, I think. Yes. And then I want the Have-a Wicked Halloween. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? So, Have-a is easy enough. And I think I'll go basic grey again. No, I'll go memento. Yep, that will fit. So if we put Have-a, wicked, pop that away. And then I just want Halloween, which might be interesting to ink up just the Halloween. But I'm going to give it a go, because that I'm going to pop there. So that's have a wicked. And then will Halloween fit there? I think it might. No, we'll bring it down a bit. Okay, so wish me luck. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Ha! 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 Basic black marker. Basic black marker. Much easier. Much easier. And you can buy these separately. So they're really good to use for inking up words. Don't you love it when my brain actually works? You can tell I didn't plan this. Yeah, some of us just have to do this, Valerie. We just have to you know, we just have to accept that we are with wimps. There we are. Have a Halloween. Except we're going to have a wicked Halloween. Right, so this is going to go here. And it works. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? That's going to go, oops, straight would be nice really, wouldn't it? That's straight. But before we do that, I wonder whether that would go underneath. What do you think? Shall I add the ribbon? Let's do a bit of interactive videoing with the ribbon behind Wicked, or without? Light bulb. What you think with, Valerie? Very happy to do with. Or what? No, the light bulb was probably the black pen. Should I do that? Or doesn't it? Yeah, Marion, you do. I know. Without. Thank you, Wendy. We'll go without. I wasn't convinced myself, so going without is good. We like going without. Decisive. Right. Okay. So, I'm actually going to be brave and find my snips, which are there. Whoops. Let's get rid of that. And I did this at the weekend. I cut some really, really thin strips of dimensional from the edge of the mini dimensionals because it's a really nice wide strip. And then you can use just the bit you need on your card. Oh, of course, I know. Hang on 1 minute. Black dimensionals. Yay! Okay, so we've now got 1 with and 2 without. I'm going without now. It's a decision, we're going without. So yes, black dimensionals. Hurrah! I might get the ribbon on there somewhere. You never know. We might have a bow or something. I like the ribbon, but I don't know if it's right behind the word. So yes, black dimensionals. Yee-hee! Black dimensionals for black card. It's as if someone heard us saying we want dark dimensionals for dark card. So yeah, I like the fact that we have that really wide strip on the edge of the mini dimensionals, because it does mean that you can use them as narrow strips. And you don't need them everywhere, you just need them in a few kind of strategic places, like, you know, the hand that you've got your scissors on. What time of day is it, Marion? I'm trying to work out, because I don't know which part of Australia you're from, so I'm not quite sure how far ahead of us you are. then that one can go there. And that's probably all I need. Lots of this will depend on whether you're putting this in the post or whether you are hand delivering. I would use more dimensional if I'm putting it in the post. Right, so moment of truth. Can I line this up again? I'm concentrating really hard. There we go. Have a wicked Halloween. Yay! I love it when these things go together, and I haven't even planned this. So, yeah. Victoria. So that's the east. I think that's the east. So what time of day is it? 7 in the evening. Oh, hang on. So Jackie's in Victoria. Perth. I love Perth. I went there many, many, many years ago. I have second cousins who used to live in Perth. No, first cousin once removed, and her children, second cousins, yes, who used to live in Perth. I think some of them still do, but they're now over in Brisbane, mostly. So, yes. Now, I want to edge this. I'm just grabbing something that I forgot. My daubers, because I want to do some edging. Where are my tweezers? No, can't find them. Dirty fingers time. Pumpkin pie. Right, okay, where's my pumpkin pie? I've got it out because I need it for my next project. There was me saying this was only going to be a 8:40. Gosh, so this is almost your bedtime watching. So pumpkin pie around the edge, just to add a bit more Halloween-y Halloween. Oh, and now that the ink is drier, you can actually see the difference between the grey and the black, which is good. When I first did the grey, it looked quite black. But yes, I think a little bit of just aging is not a bad thing. Distressing. And I keep a sponge dauber for each colour. They do wear out eventually, but it means that you've got one for each. And I just keep them in one of these little tubs in their colour family. And I've got one for the in colours as well. Ooh, close, there we go. I prefer a sponge dauber to a sponge, but it's personal choice, really. Let's put that stamp away before I forget. And then all we need to do is put the card together. So my basic black card, my bone folder. Ooh, that's not straight. That's straight. There's a little margin of error for these things. And then some glue. Now you could pop this up if you wanted, but if you're posting it and you're in the UK, one layer of dimensionals, you'll just sneak in under large letter. Anything more than one layer of dimensionals, and you'll be on large letter costs. So, yeah. So not a huge amount of glue, just a bit everywhere. And then just pop that down. And make sure it's stuck. Oh, I know what else we've got. I wonder if I can find them. Not there. Not there. Bear with me. Enamel shapes. That's what I want. Because we've got enamel shapes. Oops, picked that up. We've got enamel shapes that go with our Halloween suite. So we can pop some of these. I think some basic grey would be quite nice. Oh no, let's put it on his body. So have a basic grey on there. And, oops, a black on there. And some of the little babies, I'm just going to loosen them a bit and then I can pick them up with my take your pick sticky end. So I've asked a question in one of the team groups saying, in Europe, and I'd like to know in Australia as well, Halloween, yes or no? Do you do Halloween in Australia? Do we do Halloween now in Europe? I'm not sure. I like this sweet. It's inspired me. And I have to say, I was actually going through a bit of a mojo lull. And then I saw this sweet and I went, yes, absolutely. I think part of the reason I've never really done Halloween before is because it was my late mother's birthday. So it was her birthday on the 31st of November and mine on the 1st of December. So bless her, she used to spend quite a lot of her birthday getting ready for mine. But this is only the 2nd October we've had since she passed away. And I think I'm beginning to come up for air. And this whole Halloween section of the catalogue just caught my eye. Anyway, so there's our next card. I would obviously put a liner in, probably smoky slate, because then it's not white. I think white might be a bit too white. Anyway, so that's that one. My next one, I'm using this as my inspiration. So I did, as I say, coffee and card with my ladies yesterday. And I did a few samples and took all sorts of stamp sets because I knew there were going to be quite a lot of them. I took anything that had leaves so that we could do some autumn leaf projects. And we always use note cards and envelopes. So this is all fussy cut. This was, wrong way up, this was, the leaves are from Colourful Season and the branch is from Colourful Season. I'm Thankful for You is not. It's from... So these were the ones I took in addition to Rooted in Nature. So we used this, and I'm Thankful for You. Gather Together and Give Thanks was this, and the leaf with the leaf punch, but these were fussy cut. And then this was just getting darker as I went up the page. These ones at the top, this is sort of almost pink, are Merry Merlot stamped off. But I'm going to change it up a bit, and I don't know if it's going to work. Why would I worry if it's going to work or not? If you could see the state of my desk. It was tidy before I started. Anyway, so I have got, as I say, this is going to be my inspiration. I've got a piece of pumpkin pie card, and it's just a half sheet. A couple of sheets of very vanilla, just cut slightly smaller. Right, I have already stamped and die cut some leaves from Rooted in Nature because it's a double stamp set and you get dies that go with it, which were accessible on my desk. And there we go, yay! Still are. Nature's Root, and you get this is why I normally put them on magnetic sheets. So you get a leaf that will emboss and then a leaf that will cut out, and it cuts out the shape of the stamp, and it also cuts out the shape of the embossed leaf. So you would emboss first and then cut out, and if you spray your card with yeah, I think it's becoming more popular. Halloween's becoming more popular in the UK as well. So yeah, I think it's... Do you know Halloween was a UK or maybe... Actually, I think it was more Scottish. Anyway, it was a kind of Great Britain thing, and then it went to the States and they changed it, and you know, then they've sent it back to us. Anyway, so yes, these ones emboss, these ones cut those, and then the others just cut, and these emboss. So you get quite a lot of dies. It was a bundle when it was first launched, but it isn't anymore. because it's carried over. So do remember, I keep saying this, if you want a bundle and it's new in the catalogue, get it while it's still new, because otherwise you're going to spend more money. But lovely stamp set, some really nice sentiments. Even a thinking of you. Great for autumn, great for masculine cards. And in talking, I've just decided I'm going to change what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use that one. Oh, and I haven't retro done that one. Oh well, doesn't matter. So I'm going to change it up a little bit and grab my scrap of paper again, because, yes, I'm going to change how I was going to do it. So I'll do that, and we'll do that. That's really not big enough. Ha ha. So with one of my pieces of very vanilla, I am going to grab my colours, and we've got, let's put them back in order. Some of my labels have faded because I'm in my studio is very light. It's lovely, but it does mean that things fade. So I've got crushed curry, pumpkin pie, Cajun craze, old olive, Merry Merlot. I'm actually going to do that. So that we've got the old olive, as in it's still just about alive, going up. Don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try. So, oh, actually I could use my C block. That would be better, really, wouldn't it? So we're going to start with the bottom, and using this lovely, it's so pretty, this skeleton leaf, just make a background. Now I'm very much one of those people that says stamp over, which I don't want that yet, stamp over the edge of your card. It looks more intentional. If you stay within the card, I think it looks too, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. Who else is an over the edge person? Am I the only one? Now those are probably the only ones that I'm going to clean, because I don't want green in my crushed curry. But let's, so ink that up and ink that up and put another one over here. No, I think that will do. So I'm not now going to clean. All I'm going to do is just stamp off a bit. Because I'm going from light to dark, it's not quite so important. See you soon, Wendy. See you at the weekend. Yay, can't wait. So yes, am I the only person that goes off the edge? I can't believe I am. I just think it looks more, I don't know, it looks more like it's designer series paper than the other way. How many more colours have I got? 2. Actually, we might go in with that one again. So I'm just making a background. Might do a little one. No, I want a little one. There. You go off the edge. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I just think it looks, I don't know, it looks odd if you don't. I think because we're so used to using patterned paper, it just doesn't feel right if you go off the edge, if you stay inside the lines, as it were. So Cajun craze. I don't mind that I'm sort of overlapping a bit. I might have to go back and do some more overlapping, but because now, of course, it looks as if I didn't mean to. There we are. Let's overlap some more, and I will go back and do some more overlapping in a moment. Let's pop that one there. And then, before I go back and clean my stamps, let's get the Merry Merlot. Yeah, I really do think going off the edge is the way to go. And you'd think Merry Merlot would be a really odd colour to use on this, but actually it works. Particularly if you're in the States, it would definitely work, but even not in the States, I think it works. So yes, I'm going to have to do some more stamping, because I like the overlapping, and now it looks as if I kind of did it halfway through, which after all is what I did. But I don't want it to look like that. So these I will clean quite carefully, because I definitely don't want Merry Merlot in my crushed curry. And they do tend to keep quite a bit of ink in them because they're so detailed. Right, so I don't need green. So we'll start with crushed curry and do a bit of overlapping. Definitely overlapped that one. And Cajun craze. Oh no, pumpkin pie. And then we're done. And then I can finish my card, which may or may not work. Pom pom. Hey ho. That looks a bit better. We'll come down there a bit as well. And maybe there. So it's a bit of a mess, but I don't mind. I quite like it as a bit of a mess. And just put that in there. I'll clean that properly later. Then, okay, I probably will put that there rather than there, which isn't going to mean anything to you. Yes. So, yes. I'm going to add some crushed curry. This is the crinkle seam binding. Which I'm going to go down a bit. Ooh, sun's coming out. We've got the most bizarre weather at the moment. Have I frozen? Am I still there? Ooh. Ooh. I have no idea whether we're still going or not. If we're still going, can you leave a message? Because my laptop has frozen. Still here. Good. Okay, my laptop has frozen, so I will carry on. Thank you for letting me know. I've just done tiptoes to see. Hopefully my laptop will start up again. It's all a bit odd. Yeah, my laptop is thinking about starting up again. Anyway, so yes, I thought I'd just put a little bit of ribbon there. Thanks, Jodie, for letting me know. I can see the comments. I now just can't see the video, which is a little strange. But there we go. At least if I can see the comments, that's... Oh, no, I can see... Oh, that's very odd. Oh, well. So I'm now superimposed behind my Facebook page, which is rather odd, but it's fine. As long as I'm there, that's all that really matters. Right, so I've just added a bit of ribbon. And then what I thought I would do, and it may or may not work, why did I think it might, is just to lay some of these over the top. Actually, those might go underneath, but over the top of what I've stamped. I'm not sure this is going to work, but you know, if you don't try, you never find out. So I'll just add a bit of glue. Pop that behind, and then this I think I will pop up on a dimensional. and some glue. Ooh, I know what I can do. Huh. A plan. I have a plan. Sort of. Love it when a plan comes together, as they say. Well, I say anyway. And there. Hello, Kate. So yes, so these I die cut after I'd embossed them. If you spritz them with water, it works even better. So if you spritz your card with water first, it works even betterer. But yeah. So it might go in under there, I think. But this is a real make it up as I go along, because I'm going to run out of space. Don't you love it? Change your idea halfway through, just so that you know it's really not going to work. I've run out of space. Can I lift that one off? Can I lift that one off? Yay! I can. So if we put that there, and then lift this one off, give it a twist, then I can pop that in there. It's almost like I planned it, which, as we know, I didn't. Madness. Total and utter madness. And the last but one. Ooh, if I go in there, no, if I go in there. If I go in there, I can cover up that, or not, cover up that gap. I'm going to cut some bits off, don't worry, I am going to cut some bits off. Honest, because I can see what's happening. We're going off the edge, which is fine. I want to cover up that little bit of pumpkin pie just there. Come on, in you go, play ball. Okay, don't play ball then. I know what I can do. Let's just, you know, make it easier for myself. This is almost like Trainwreck TV, isn't it? Great. And the last one, let's not even think about getting all of that in there. And just pop this in that corner. Oh, come on, up you come. There. Ha! Ha! Did it! Right. And then, actually, I think I might wait until I've stuck it on the card base, which is going to be that way. Yeah. And then grab my glue. Straighten up my ribbon. Get rid of that. And pop that down. Get rid of that. And then from, oops, don't need that anymore. From the back, I can then just open up my card, trim off the bits that are falling off the edge, so that it almost looks like I meant to do that. And then all I need to do, yep, is stamp. Now I've got a piece of very vanilla here that is in new money just about 3 centimetres, and in old money is 1 3/16 ish, that sort of figure, and there is a reason for that, and I will share that with you in a moment, and then we will be done. Just as my battery is going low on my laptop, but that's all right. So let's try and stamp this straight and central-ish. It'll do. Oh no, it won't. I don't like it. Let's turn over. That's better. So that was Mary Merlot. And somewhere I have got, right, so I have got the story time. Is this story time? Not convinced it is. Bunches. It is. No, it's not story. It's the other one. It's timeless. That's what it is. So this is too big for the punch. So having cut this card that funny measurement, I can feed it in, punch, and then feed it in again and punch, and then we have a custom size, you see, custom size label. So if your height is all right for your stamp, you can always custom size your labels if they're straight. So I'm going to pop that there on dimensionals, and yeah, my laptop has now died because I've been having it on battery, so it has run out, but my camera is on power, so that's all right. So you are wonderful. Actually, no, it won't. No. You are wonderful. We can tuck that under there. And there we go. It sort of worked. So it's tumbling leaves. I could have probably started further down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to save this obviously, and I'll see if I can upload it to YouTube. Went a little bit over. I was looking at an hour, and it's now an hour and 20. But thank you very much for joining me. Do remember, if you're in the UK and you don't already have a demonstrator, you can order anything you would like from me from Stampin' Up, and I would be absolutely delighted to welcome you to my customer base. I try and look after my customers well. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to the next Facebook Live, which I will start doing weekly. Keep an eye on... Thank you, Jodie. Keep an eye on my Facebook page, my Old Stables Crafts business page, because I will put the Facebook Lives in there as events, so you know when the next one will be, when I've worked out when in my calendar I can do them as a regular thing. So thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Off to make a card. Sounds like a plan, Valerie. Thank you very much. Bye. Now I've just got to work out how.